When I was getting my car, renewed for its registration, I happened to ran across this self-identifying Italian man, and he was a liberal white supremacist. And he was, you know, I happened to run across him, because he was in the hallway, running back and forth, talking loud on his phone about him being sued and people hitting him up with shit. And so I think he called his therapist, or he called somebody, and you know he was all angry, and somebody calmed him down over the phone. And then I'm waiting at the hallway too, or the breezeway, and whatever it is. And there's like two other dudes. It's me and two Latino dudes, young cats. Uh, and so they try not to pay no mind to him and shit. And so I'm like, I'm not really into my phone because nobody really texts me and shit. So I wasn't really into the phone like the other two dudes were. And so the guy stops in front of me, and he's like striking this conversation, like, um, and he just looked really bugged out, like his eyes were twitching, and to be honest, he looked like he was on drugs. But knowing his personality, he is his own drug. And so, okay, this guy's telling me his problem, and he's saying like, he's being sued, and somebody called the police on him, and within like when he was saying, he was like, oh well, there's this white lady trying to call the cops on me, and I was like, uh-oh, I knew there was some racial fuckery with this, because I was like, you white dude, like what you telling me she's white for? Now I knew he was gonna spin some racial shit, and so he's talking about this white lady trying to get him in jail. And then he's talking about random shit, like goodness of character, being nice, American values, shit like that. He's Italian. He has to keep mentioning that he's Italian. It was funny because when he had left, he's trying to open his door for this like short guy, and it's like he wouldn't get out the way, and he was like, "Let me get the door for you. I'm Italian." And the short man, he's like 50 years old. He's like an old dude, and he's like, "Just get out the way. What are you doing? What are you doing?" Like, this is my job. I hold doors. I'm Italian. And he just kind of like the short dude gets out of the way, and he's like mumbling something under his breath, like, it's like freaking idiot. It was like with me and the other two dudes were laughing. But before that happened, he's ranting about good character, and then he talks about why he was on the phone yelling, and he was talking about somebody's trying to sue him, and his business is he's trying to run a business, and he may be losing $20,000. And then he talks about how somebody's accusing him of being racist. No, it was somebody's somebody. I don't know if it was a black person. Is you know uh, you know oppressing him with reverse racism. So he talks about how he claims he's been a victim of reverse racism 2 times and shit. I'm like, I was just like lit. I'm just saying, like, nodding my head. I don't entertain these dudes. I don't entertain them verbally. And I kind of took notes on years ago with how Tariq Nasheed, uh, how to talk to white supremacists. And the thing is with them, especially these liberals, these white supremacist liberals, is that they're not used to black people or minorities agreeing with them. And so you have to burn them out. Because when you burn them out, they're gonna say some shit that will like baffle your mind, and they will expose themselves. Like this dude was not fooling me that he wasn't racist. You're bitching about reverse racism, and you keep telling me it's not a black or white thing, and like you can't stay on topic. I'm confused as fuck if I'm, like are you giving me life lessons, or are you talking about why you're being sued? Like how are we talking about all lives matter? And I'm like, it's just going all over the place. And then he's trying to, crowbar, because of the Latino dudes. He thinks he can talk about the issues in Mexico, and he's talking about there's kids being kidnapped, and it's just some random shit. Like it's kind of like common sense, but it's like how are we talking about all this shit? And he's just really high on his own racist mind. He's just babbling shit, not making any cohesive sense, and I almost wanted to argue with him, but the conversation really wasn't that serious, and it just kind of cooled him down because I was just tired of him running back and forth from the waiting room to the bathroom left and right, and it was really just annoying. Everybody's pissed off. There's an Asian dude at the booth. He's yelling a storm and shit. Nobody wants to be here. Even like being 15 minutes in there, it kind of feels like hell. Nobody wants to be there. It's an old building and shit like that. And it was a relief seeing him go. Once he left, and like the Latino dude, it was like a big Latino dude, and he was like, "Man, did you take notes?" He was just being sarcastic. I'm just like, he's just saying some foul, racist shit, and I'm like, you just gotta be nice to him, because it will only give him a longer, another reason for him to be in somebody's face or be in the building longer than he has to be, you know. And what's funny was that he's saying all this radical shit, and there's like a white lady, there's like a white lady with a special needs Latino kid, and she's just kind of like looking over to me like, "You ain't falling for this shit, are you?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just, and, just yeah, I'm just letting him in. I'm just letting him talk." He's just saying like some real off the wall shit, and he's like rambling for 10 minutes. But I'm like, hey, it's for laughs. It's for shits and giggles. It's for laughs, and then he'll get on his way. It was a funny experience because he's a real idiot. And what's funny is that I think he was with his wife or some significant person or other or whatever. And it's mind-boggling that someone. It's not even just the fact that he's racist, but it was just the fact that he has like a very piss poor personality. He is just annoying. He doesn't know. He can't read body language. And to me, it just seems weird, and I wouldn't even be surprised if he's beating her ass. Because he looks violent. He doesn't look like an intimidating man, but he looks like one of those bitch made dudes that will put his hands on a woman. If he doesn't, get if his wife gets him all 2% milk instead of almond milk. He seems like one of those types. But I'm not trying to like start a world star video. It was like I don't need to debate white supremacists about anything. That's kind of I kind of the thing is I kind of learned not to even get into these kind of into in-depth conversations with them because I just got through watching The Bachelor. Um, episode 4, and I'm seeing this issue with Lee and Kenny, and it kind of it did piss me off seeing in the trailer that it seems that those two finally got into a fight, and you see Kenny leaking. So I'm kind of wondering if Lee took a cheap shot, or obviously Lee did something because this dude's crying, and he feels weak and shit, and I'm like, this is a dude who's a freaking wrestler, swole, tough dude, and to see him leaking and crying, that's maybe it's just the editing, but something happened. So I'm kind of eager to see what happens this Monday or whatever. But with the situation with Lee and Kenny, the thing is, with the lesson with that, with in these situations for black men is to not, you know, you gotta treat them like special need kids, and or someone that's slower than special need kids, kid I should say, um, because if you hit them, or you already know that you can beat their ass. 9 times out of 10, the black men or boys that these white men egg on, 9 times out of 10 they can beat their ass, and they know that. And so what they do is they play victim, and they move the goalpost. Now, because what they did is, like, when you hit them, you know they will egg you on to do something physical, and they'll call you a coward, this, that, and third, and they'll keep throwing these epithets at you. And when you hit them, now they're playing victim, and but they're still egging you on to go over the edge, and it's kind of like the WWE with the Miz. He is not the strongest wrestler, but he's one of the smartest. And he knows how to play victim to get the championship, or to, be in good favors with the referee and officials. And, so it's not a game of, like, strength and technique. And so, the Miz is a psychological attacker. And, a lot of these racist white boys. I'm not saying Miz is racist. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, the tactics that they use is Miz like. Straight out of the book of Miz. And they know that they know that they cannot beat you physically, but they know that in numbers you will fall. They know that if you hit them, they will see. It ends up they'll change the goalpost, because it ends up being a match of wits. I mean, no, a match of bronze, and then when you hit them, it's wits. Oh, you hit me, and I bet I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than you. You're just a thug. I'm a I'm an economics major. I make 6 figures. I make more than you're broke out. They'll start doing all that. So black men need to kind of they need to be careful with your interactions with these white supremacists, and these special ed ones too, because they will say anything to piss you off, even if they're not trying to piss you off. They will say something that will piss you off. And the shit that the guy said to me yesterday wasn't really like something I would punch him in the face over. It was just dumb shit. But even just kind of saying, like, dude, get out of my face, I ain't trying to hear the shit. It can come up as threatening, and I just, like, play it safe. There's nothing wrong playing it safe, because I'm not trying to create a scene, get thrown out the building, make a small errand take a whole day to do. Just get in, get out, man. Get in, get out.